In 3, 2, 1, you're live.
Tuesday, Dominique, it's another Tuesday. We're here. We've got a full house again today. Yeah, Anthony's laughing because I almost fell out of the chair, which that would have been great. You would say I went down a staircase. This is Teen Sports Radio. If you just stopped by, we so appreciate you. If you're a regular, we really love you. Online now, as well as Tuesday at 9 a.m. Do you know when else you could find us?
Tuesday at 11 p.m.
Yes.
We're talking about AM 1290. Also Sunday at 6 p.m.
Yep.
And Monday at 3 a.m.
We like the 3 a.m. for the nushers. You know, if you like to nush, that's the show. How many times have we been relatable to people on the 3 a.m. show?
When they're getting a piece of pumpkin pie.
That's it. Some kind of pie. That's for sure. We're going to be talking about a lot of food today leading in. In the house, we have Anthony Rodriguez, Christine Marie. Christine's brought a guest today. I'm looking forward to that. Ed Langlow, of course, our producer, Richard Dugan. And we have Richard Ellsworth with Mountain Sage Healing Arts, who's just killing it. He's doing so good. He's got his little Richard Remedies popped out there in the universe. He's working with a lot of my clients right now. He's getting A++ grades. I'm really looking forward to you actually getting to meet our guest today, Richard, which is really exciting. And we're going to get to that in a second. But let's do this. Let's go around. We have a lot. We haven't done this in the last couple of weeks. And I was asked, you know, a little gratitude. Today we need to do a little gratitude.
Absolutely.
So I want to start with you.
I just wanted to express a bunch of gratitude for Dr. Dale Figtree this week. She reached out to me this morning for a little information swap and said that she really appreciated the show last week. And, you know, I would not be where I am today if it were not for her. And I still operate completely under her philosophy and everything that she's taught me. So thank you, Dale.
We love Dr. Dale. I had no idea. I'm a little bit of an artist. Okay. This is not a la. Okay. It says a lot if somebody was going to analyze me. Okay. We're going to get to that because we have a therapist here in the house, which we're going to meet later. And she's probably studying what is going on in this person's head. But Dr. Dale, we love Dr. Dale. She's also an artist. And when she found out that I was playing around with it, she came over and I'm like sweating, you know, because she's really like famous. Okay. And when she looked at it, she goes, everything you have here is so playful. To say, you know what I mean? Because that's what I do. I throw things. I use fans.
So you're an abstract artist.
Yes. Well, that tells it a lot. But I use a lot of different things to get the image that I want. And oh my God, she's such an important person in this community. So recognized, so well known, and definitely somebody also a co-host on this show. Whenever we can get her, we're blessed anytime she can come aboard.
Mountain Sage Healing is up. Richard Ellsworth, do me a favor. Don't ever hide the salad spinner in this house again. Okay, we just had an absolute meltdown. Kitchen meltdown this morning because by the salad spinner. Okay. So what are we going to talk about today? If you want to bounce anything off the spirit, you're welcome. You know, I always just give you the throne, whatever you want.
Okay. Well, there are lots of potential things. I was wondering, Christine, if it's convenient for you, do you think you could just draw a quick card for me to guide my my topic?
Oh, I would love to.
Wow. I'm excited.
Okay. Take a good look right there. And now I'll pick one. The card. I can't see. Okay, here we go. It's called darn
Five
it.
of Swords.
It's the Five of Swords, which is about defeat, which is really about picking up the pieces after a battle. Like, I believe every battle is a defeat. If someone has to win and someone has to lose, there's always a part of us that wins and a part of us that loses, right? And so after a battle, how do we pick up the pieces? So that's the card for today.
Oh, I like it.
Perfect. Okay, so
Kind of like when you lose at heart.
not last night.
No, not last night. That's true.
So what really comes up for me based on that is confidence, and confidence is something that I talked a little bit about last week with different techniques that we can use to sort of build and stabilize that testosterone, and really figuring out different ways that we can biochemically work with our system to increase certain emotions that we're feeling, and going along with some of the things that we've been talking about with nature and psychology, and stabilizing emotions and the effects that can have on our hormones in our bodies. There are so many different mediums that we can use for that. And it's not only about working with our mind and our interactions with others, and our interactions with nature in a bigger picture, but we can also hone in and really figure out how we can use things, sort of laser targeted techniques to affect those emotions. And some of the things that come to mind are supplements that I mentioned before for anxiety. You have your GABA, your gamma aminobutyric acid, you have your 5-HTP. I was reading a study today on nutritional psychotherapy, and it turns out that there's actually an Institute for Tryptophan Research, a National Institute for Tryptophan Research, which I thought was really interesting. So 5-HTP is 5-hydroxytryptophan, and it's one of those things that can really just uplift our mood without having that sort of sleepy effect that straight up tryptophan will give you, which is really, really incredible. And you can get the delayed release ones, which I always recommend. And they'll just keep you going in a really good place all day. Usually takes about 3 or 4 days after you start taking them to kick in. And then you also have your l-theanine, which is present in tea. So you can just start drinking your tea, or you can actually supplement
I've
with
got a quick
l-theanine.
question on the tryptophan. That's in Turkey, right?
It
That's
is
found
in Turkey, yeah, and to a
So
lesser extent in chicken.
why is that, what do you call it, a chemical? Why is that compound found in turkey and not in other meats? Because I know, Thanksgiving time, people eat the turkey and then they feel all good and they go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that specifically has to do with their genetic structure, the way that they're created. They're producing tryptophan in their bodies, and it has something to do with the way that they have to interact. So it is primarily in poultry. So it is also in chickens. Why it's specifically in turkeys considerably more so than chickens, I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully there's research that's been done about that. I'm very curious now that you bring that up. But yeah, that is certainly a good source of it, and that is something. Eating turkey and incorporating that into your diet is great, as long as you're not intending to be completely mentally alert and really physically active afterwards.
So is the food supplement different than eating the turkey?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a specific isolate. So there are different types of tryptophan and different parts that compose tryptophan. So 5-HTP, 5-hydroxytryptophan, is the specific part of it that will not make you sleepy, but will have those calming effects. Which is really great, and that in conjunction with your GABA, your gamma aminobutyric acid, and also l-theanine, I mean, you really can't go wrong. And focusing on, there's been a lot of talk about plant-based diets, and plant-based diets are amazing. But there's also the fact that we have to consider that some body types actually do better with proteins and meat. And in those higher meat sort of items, we also get the added benefit of increasing our testosterone a little bit, which helps to accelerate our confidence, which is just really important in emotional health and well-being. And then talking about what we were saying earlier with being outside, with what Sierra was saying, there's also this effect. If we're walking outside barefoot, we're having this negative ionic effect on the energy of our bodies that's actually going to really calm our system. It's almost like when I'm walking barefoot, I like to picture all of the stress or anxiety or emotions or things that I've been dealing with. I like to picture just going right into the ground out through my feet. And we can do this exercise where we incorporate our breathing into that. So we're breathing in and we're pulling positive energy from above, and then we're releasing everything into the ground and just letting the earth kill it, just letting the earth completely neutralize it. And I think that's really great. And Dominique, I was just wondering if you had anything to add about plant-based diets.
Well, I've been reading a couple of books. There's one, I think it's called what was the book called? Wild Culture, about how it really has to do with an individual about whether they should choose plant-based or maybe 80% plant-based, but also that, didn't they do a study on gladiators, and they figured out that back in the Roman times, gladiators were eating whole grains and fish. They weren't actually eating a lot of red meat. And so I thought it was very interesting for teens and athletes that they should look into more of a plant-based diet. Don, what do you eat? You eat meat, right?
I do a mixture. I'm doing more plant-based, but I still sometimes, especially, I have a system that runs like a hot furnace. I burn a lot of calories, even to, like kind of like when I was back doing athletics when I was younger, and I can't, keep up with my massage therapy that I do and yard work and exercise and so forth without fueling good. I mean, I have to make sure I fuel. I have smaller meals like 6 times a day, and sometimes they're animal, and sometimes they're plant, and sometimes they're a mixture. But I always try and go with clean sources, try not to eat processed foods, try not to have a lot of sugar and salt. Himalayan pink salt, a little of it, but I try not to be excessive with it. And just everything I've picked up like that over the years, I just try and honor it, because I only get this one body and I want to make it last as long as possible.
Definitely. Do you know the name of the book or not? Yeah. So the book that I picked up to read is from Terry Cochran, and it's called The Wildtarian Diet, WILDATARIAN, and Living as Nature Intended. So this show is very nature-based. Yeah. I love it. Definitely. And then we have other kids that'll be, joining in. I wish Laura was going to be here. Richard wishes Laura was going to be here too. Sorry, Richard. Can I ask you? Sorry, Richard. Laura wasn't here today. Ha ha. Thanks, Richard.
Thanks, you guys. I'll be in touch. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Good night, Mary Jo. Good night, Jim Bob.
Thank you.
Good night, Mary Ellen. Bye. Have a great day.
I'm
You're gone.